Hello. I hope you're doing fantastic today, because we are here to create. We're here to show up once again. We are here to show up as our true selves in a creative fashion, stepping out of the infinite internet casino, pulling on dopamine slot machines to focus our attention in transmuting the addictions of these consumption black holes by creating. This is a container for creating. So drop in the chat what you're working on today. Drop in the chat what you're creating today. I want to know. This is a space for us to create together. You can watch me create. That's cool too. But what I would recommend is that you create with me. Whatever you want to work on. I know that there's something that, when I say that, pops in your mind of something that you would love to be creating, something that you have been dreaming about doing, that you could be doing that you're not doing. So do it! Let's do it together! Okay? And this is also a container for me to show through a process of demystifying the artistic navigation of what it's like to be a novice and then go through the daily practice of becoming a master. So it's essentially a time capsule that we'll be able to look back on years from now and go, wow, he was dog shit at creating back then, and now he's this good now. Wow, I could have been that good at that point, and here he is, just showing up every single day, and that's where he went, by showing up every single day. That's what this is. It's an experiment. And today, we are going to follow a touch designer tutorial and make some visuals with the 3D Connect, you know what I'm saying? Use a little bit of RGB depth and delay with a little bit of LiDAR and create, okay? Let's get into it.
We're going to just be using
enough talking,
Connect today.
Enough chitter-chatter, enough blah, blah, blah.
These notes. You see we have the two here need to do. Recognize to, and we're going to set this threshold silhouette very briefly, and we're going to focus on rendering out multiple different ones, depth with it's a little bit, it's mapped out across, for example,
wait a minute, do this a little different.
A Connect Xbox One, the Connect SDK kit, a few other options. That with that said, I would like to say that I am looking into exploring alternative methods of this 3D capture technology, as it's really awesome. I know a lot of the modern in future projects, so Patreon, as I'll post some updates about it, is essentially just going to be looking at in this little point cloud kind of way, and then we're going to be bringing in a little bit of noise, like you can see with a feedback loop like this, so we can sort of like paint digital paintings, and then I will basically, hopefully in this tutorial, explain everything that's going along, what's happening along the way, so that way you can take that knowledge and build off of it onto your own projects rather than just trying to copy this from scratch. But enough yapping, let's dive in. So,
something that I want to say real quick, I'm in a Dharma sprint right now. I've got to explain real quick what a Dharma sprint is. It's essentially a moment of time where you focus on your dharmic flow. That's what this is. Until noon. It's currently 10. 2 hours from now, I will be ending this Dharma sprint. I'm in the Dharma Artist Collective, which is a community on School. The School platform. SKOOL. The community I'm within, that is the Dharma Artist Collective, is run by a man named Eric Godsey. Alright? He's a pretty cool guy. He's played a big impact in me stepping back into my creative dharmic flow. And I'm currently in a Dharma sprint, which is essentially just a Zoom call where we all get together, set intentions, and just go about our ways, focusing on things. Essentially like accountability group. You know, like in the old days where they would go into offices and work on things. We're doing the same thing, but on Zoom, but we don't work on the same things. We work on different things that have nothing to do with working in the same business. We're all over the world, and we just focus. I just got to shout that out because it's helping me, you know? It's really helping me, and I believe that it can help you too. So yeah, just wanted to shout that out.
I'm going to disable...
Also, shout out PJ Visuals, the guy I'm watching a tutorial of right now.
So if you haven't if you have a Connect and have not set it up or used in Touch Designer before, you will need to do that. You may need to even buy a physical adapter if you don't have one.
You don't have
Connect.
one?
But once you do, or once you have,
that's Australian,
right? It's easy as pressing Tab and typing under the tops Connect. Connect Azure, but we're going to just be using the regular Connect today. And we want to grab 2 of these nodes. You see we have the 2 here, like.
Wait a minute, he is using 2 Connect nodes. Interesting.
So you can only have one instance of each of the image cameras running at one time. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to actually copy these 2 down. So like so. But you're able to just copy the steps. You don't need to do this part.
Hold on a second.
At one time.
Is he running 2 Connects?
So for simplicity, each of 2 here, and we want to grab 2 of these nodes. You see we have the 2 here, like so. You can only have one instance of each of the image cameras running at one.
Oh, this is making my shit freak out. Can't even click on the other one. Oh, this is making it freak out. Okay, interesting. It's making the touch center do something crazy. The buttons aren't working.
Time. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to actually copy these 2 down. So like so.
He didn't explain.
Hey there. But you're able to just copy the steps. You don't need to do this part. So in the first Connect, we want to set it to image depth. We want to set the image to depth point cloud, which will give us this. This uses the depth camera and the Connect with the colors as well. And then we also want to connect in the player index. Now,
the player index. Interesting. Okay. All right.
Just quick note about the player index. It's a Connect's attempt to recognize human silhouettes and just render them out as.
The player index is Connect's attempt at recognizing silhouettes.
Such. So it's a little bit finicky. It might not work perfectly all the time. It's also limited to, I think, like 4, maybe 6 people, which probably isn't an issue.
Currently, it's not reading anything.
But that being said, oftentimes when I'm sitting down, it won't recognize, what the silhouette as a person. So when using the player index, you will need to position the camera in a way where it will pick you up as a person. You might need to stand up to calibrate it, lock onto you.
There it goes.
If it's not recognizing you, that's probably why. But otherwise, we just need these 2. And if you have any trouble connecting your Connect to Touch Designer, you just need to download all the drivers and such like that. There's plenty of resources online, but just drop me a message or a comment and I will help where possible. So what we want to do is connect this second player index 1 to a threshold. And we're going to set this threshold to less, and then RGB on, let's keep it on luminance. Soften at 0.
Slow down, brother. Get in there.
and then threshold, basically you just want to drag it to a point where it's actually capturing the silhouette, which is,
well, currently it's not doing any of that. Oh, it just needs to be at 0.
which is pretty easy. We just want this white silhouette here with a transparent background as
But that's not what I'm getting. I don't have a transparent background at all.
basically what I want to player index 1. What I do is connect this second player index 1 to a threshold, and we're going to set this threshold to less, and then RGB on, let's keep it on luminance, soften at 0, and then threshold, basically you just want to drag it to a point where it's actually capturing the silhouette, which is pretty easy. We just want this white silhouette here with a transparent background as
He's forgetting to explain something. There's no alpha data here. How is it going to know to turn it into that? How the hell is it going to know to do that?
basically what we're after. And then we want to combine these two layers, and we're
Mine is not doing that. Psych. Okay, so I do need to put it on RGBA 32-bit float. My goodness, brother.
going to do that with a multiply.
You didn't tell me to do that.
So just grab a multiply from the tops here and put it in like so, which is essentially going to get the depth data of the person and then only use the silhouette. You can see it has it's got some issues here when I get too close. You might want to play around with the threshold to refine that, or
why is this? It seems to not be able to layer them together. Like, past this threshold, for whatever reason, there's a wall. Look at that. Look how strange that is. Why is it within this distance it doesn't want to read the data properly? It almost breaks it. It's too far away. Interesting.
Just reposition the camera. From there, we're going to connect it to a math. This math is an optional step, basically. What I'm using it for later on is to just basically reposition the person. We can just keep this value at 1 for now, but later down the line it might be very useful for sort of on is to math.
Why is he doing this in chops? I'm sorry, in tops.
Is an optional step, basically. What I'm using it for later on is to just basically reposition the person. We can just keep this value at 1 for now, but later down the line it might be very useful for sort of recalibrating or repositioning the person. We're going to skip over the feedback loop section here very briefly, and we're going to focus on rendering out the silhouette as is, and sort of very briefly, and we're going to focus on rendering out the silhouette as is and sort of explain what is going on. So what I'm going to do is grab a null and
Shoo!
leave a big gap because we're going to fill that in later. Then I want to get all of my default rendering components, but I also want to render out some geometry. So I'm going to go to my SOP and get an add. Click add points. Go to particles, add, connect it like so. I'm just going to double check that I have it set to, yep, as lines. And then connect this into a geometry.
Into a geometry. A geo.
So we're going to be using this silhouette or this image input to instance a bunch of particles based off of the depth and the silhouette that we're providing. So we're not going to go into the into depth with instancing, but essentially what we are passing in here is the defined geometry for each of the points. So if you want to build a silhouette that's made up of a bunch of rectangles or made up of a bunch of 3D spheres, you can do like sphere here, and then you want to connect it to a transform. Make it very small. This will be a lot more computationally intense than just particles. So I suggest doing particles and connecting that to a geometry. Then again, default rendering components. By that I mean a camera, a light, and then a render top. Now I'm going to have to manually calibrate these things like so, but you won't have to do this because I have.
My brother, why did you do the tutorial like this?
Components. By that
do it from scratch.
A camera, a light, and then a render top. Now I'm going to have to manually calibrate these things like so, but you won't have to do this because I have multiple things going in. And connecting that to a geometry. Then again, default rendering components. By that I mean a camera, a light, and
Interesting. Nothing's showing up. Wait a minute. What?
we render, you won't thing. I will keep the render at ground and then null like so, and then click this blue button to set it as a background. If it's not obvious so far, I didn't mention this at the start, I attempt to do more beginner tutorials on this channel. I don't know if my audience is like growing with me or like what pace to increase the intensity, like if I need to keep repeating all these very beginner steps. Please let me know if it is useful for you for me to sort of break down each of these nodes, or if you'd prefer me just to kick up the pace a little bit. But yes, let's keep going. So on the geometry now, we want to go to our instancing tab, and then we want to toggle on instancing. Now we want to use this null and drag and drop that onto our translate OP. So essentially, you can see here these colors obviously don't match the real world. That's because, sorry, on a it's using an RGB scale of sorts to translate or explain depth values. Sorry, I'm still recovering from a sickness. Basically, in a three-dimensional space, the values are mapped out across X, Y, and Z, but also in this case it's mapped out across RGB, where red is our X position, so the more red the color, the more higher along the X position it is. You can see like so. Y, so yellow is obviously up and down vertical translation, and then Z, you can see like we're mostly blue right now, but as I go back I get a much lighter blue because that is our Z index, which is how it gets all the information to understand this image in a three-dimensional context. All of that to say, we can have our null here, and then for X we want to do red, and then green we want to do green. I'm going to pause right here. It's starting to lag because I have two of these going on, which I sort of thought about before I did this project. If I disable that geometry, is that gonna... you know what it might be as well, is we might
You put it all in a container and just cut it.
Also want to...
Tox it.
I'm going to quickly delete this, because this might be lagging on your end as well. We might be having a issue with the input size. Let me, for example, if I go to my multiply and then change my input to custom resolution 256, and then let's just compare these two final images. Whoa, that's because I have a bunch of feedback going on here. Let's compare the start image. Yeah, that looks about right. One of these is transparent though. Which one is the transparent one? Oh, it's the other one. Is that because we... Oh, it's because we had the math
My brother.
operation going on here. I don't think that math is super important. It's worth noting on the multiplier here that we changed the resolution to 256 by 256 and then pixel format to 32-bit flow RGBA. Now let me try this. It's still really not liking everything that's going on. Let me attempt to delete this. Gee. Oh my lord, it is not a fan. That is alright. This is a good little exercise in debugging. I can middle mouse this button to be like, okay, this is 500 by 500, 32-bit flow RGBA, 250, 50-bit flow RGBA. Is it our particles? Are they causing us issue right now? If I plug this one in, and this one, and then oh, it was our particles. Okay, that is good to know. So I'm a little bit ad hoc with how I fix things in all of this. Basically, I think if I go particles, yeah. And then do I have to? No, I don't need to set the limits. That's interesting. Okay, so I have on the particle here all these parameters here. You might want to pause the video and just copy these as well.
That's what it was. You had 100 birth instead of 4. That was the big one. Also life expectancy 3. Same with the... What is alpha speed? I don't know what that is.
As well. Importantly, I think bringing down the birth rate here will be quite important. Yeah, that birth rate was quite high, which is causing many particles to spawn, but we definitely don't need that. So I'm just going to plug in this original particle here, and if you want to copy my exact parameters, they're like here, like so.
Bit of a sloppy tutorial.
And now back to our geometry tab, we can do...
To be honest with you, bit of a sloppy tutorial.
Exact parameters, they're like here, like so. And now back to our geometry tab, we can do instancing of R, and then G, and then B. And then cool, we have a very evil dark silhouette of...
Oh, it's so far away. What the heck? Cool.
Of me. A few reasons why. One, we need to define a texture. So under material, we can do a point sprite. Just very good default.
Hello. Hello. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Ah. Oh, I love technology, do. I really do. What's weird is it gets larger the farther away you get back. That doesn't make any sense. Why does it get smaller? There's something wrong with this. Why is it getting larger the farther I get farther away I get? That doesn't make sense. It's getting smaller the closer I get. Interesting. Alrighty, well that's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. I'm about to freak the frick out of these particles, I'll tell you what. It's gonna get real crazy up here. We're gonna add some sound, it's gonna get all reactive. You best believe we're about to go crazy. Why do I only have this window of space where it's actually rendering? You see that? It's cool that it gets the shadow. That's kind of cool. It literally gets the shadow on my... Wait, that's not actually there. What's strange is it's creating a... Technically, it's where my arm is, but it looks like it's under the arm, like a shadow. Because look, like on my face, you can see the whole hand, but it's also creating a shadow on the... Strange. Why does it do that? This is so cool.
White texture like so. You might want to turn on blending, transparency into form, and then maybe bring the alpha down a little bit so it has a little bit of transparency. Secondly, you might want to adjust the camera, so you might want to bring it forward like that. Alternatively, on the view FOV, you can bring that forward like so, until it sort of sits at a position you're comfortable with, like that. Alternatively, on the view FOV.
Crazy.
You can bring that forward like so, until it sort of sits at a position you're comfortable with. This math is a good opportunity to play with this math scale as well. Like I said,
Is this why it's happening? There's this math here? That doesn't do anything.
sort of find a good balance of everything. And then in terms of post-processing that I had going on, I just had some feedback edge and then bloom. I'll add in bloom very quick, which both sit under palettes up here on the top left, and then bloom.
It's the first one.
Like so, but again, like I said at the start of the video,
Interesting. Oh, that's an interesting color gradient. What we got going on here? Oh, hello. How do we turn down this gamma? Gamma's way too aggressive. Wait a minute. What just happened to my transparency here? Why is just touching the gamma making that happen? I don't want the white though. That's the one thing. I know it's the damn bloom. Oh wait, that helped a little bit. Glow level, bring bloom level down. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Oh, we're just not, now that I don't have any effect on this. We don't want that. We want a little bit of glow. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not really changing much. What is black? Not really much change there. Let's make it light blue. See what happens. What? Why does it stay there? Temporal smooth. It's like time smoothing, but why does it stay still? One thing that would make sense if it was at like 0.8 is if it dragged with me just really slowly, but it's not doing that. If I push it all the way up to like 0.9. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that makes sense. It's a slight drag. Why does it need to be so close to 1? Okay, we'll just pull that down because what's the point of that? No, I want it to be transparent. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. That's not where it was. See, this is the one thing about Touch Designer that pisses me off sometimes, is it forgets what the fuck I just did. a little bit more blue. But it gotta kind of be in this general area. So we'll lose a lot of definition the closer I get. It just whites out. What happens if I zoom into my face? I lose pretty much all that color. I don't like that it's mostly red. Can we get a bit more blue? I just don't want the glow, that's the problem. Got me some light blue. See, it's just, that's the problem. If I turn it up, I turn white. I don't want that. Thought turning the gamma down would do the trick. I might have to do some post effects to just turn it down a bit. See, like right here, that's pretty cool. But the second I get right here, it just whites out. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. Maybe bringing the iterations down. Still getting it. It's too much.
Here, I'm not trying to exactly recreate what I showed at the start. I just like so, but again, like I said at the start of the video, I'm not trying to exactly recreate
What the hell? $11 did float. Positive values only? Oh, that's interesting. Look how it kind of like tears through right there. It's like you got this hand, but then you have that black shadow behind it, and it starts to overlap, and then that becomes the hand. Look at now. It's now this is the hand. This is the actual size of my hand right here. That. It's crossing some kind of threshold here where it's like trying to read both. Like that's. It's like shrinking my body right now. Like for whatever reason, Oh, it lost me. It lost me. What happened? Ah! There it is. Okay. Whatever. Let's keep going.
What I showed at the start, I just want to do get the fundamentals down. But yeah, this is essentially how we use.
I think part of the reason is because of where I have this situated. I think it was a little bit too close. I'm sorry, a little too far away. Get a little bit more definition here. That's pretty cool.
3D information from a Kinect or depth camera to translate it into a point cloud. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't, for example, here I just turned off the multiplier, and what this has done is it's looking at this depth camera, this raw depth camera input, and being like, oh hey, let me also render the whole room. So we have a few different is it's point cloud. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't, for example, here I just turned off the multiplier, and what this has done is it's looking at this depth camera, this raw depth camera input, and being like, oh hey, let me also render the whole room. Obviously we have a few different things going on with my math and such here, but if I zoom out, you can see my whole room is now being rendered.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, let me see this. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Oh. That's pretty cool. That is... Wait, what? Hold on a second. Can I actually rotate? There's no way. Okay, yeah, it's just doing it on XY. Hold on a second. See, this is what's annoying. Remember, there we go. There's no way I can pivot on the x-axis. Sorry, the... Fuck. Wait, chill out. We're experimenting. Oh, that's very interesting. It's got me in my room. It's so interesting that it thinks that there's... I don't understand what's happening with the data that's making it think that there is... It's like the size of what I actually am is the black part. That's my actual size in relation to the Kinect. But it's shrinking me, but still compositing both the layers. I guess that's what's happening here in this double Kinect threshold plus, like if I were to do this. Oh. Interesting, okay. Well, that is pretty cool.
Rendered. So there's no reason why you don't have a depth camera, why you can't exactly just do that, and then maybe you also want to have a threshold that's based on depth. But we're not going to go too much into that for today's story. What we're going to do is look at creating this feedback loop now. But I hope this all makes sense. If there's anything that you guys are not very clear on about the tech, let me know. I think it's important that we, on this channel, actually help you guys understand that side of things, because that's something I think a lot of other touch designer YouTubers throw aside in favor of getting more stylized content out there. But I do understand the appeal of that. Awesome. All right, let's do a feedback loop. So the first thing we want to do is, after the math, I'm going to hide my background. It's a little bit distracting for me. Let's insert a feedback. From the feedback, we then want to shoot off to a noise.
I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, that's so wild. Alright, let's see if I can get back before the chair stops spinning. I'm gonna go pee. Damn. You want to be in the Connect? Want to come on stream, Parker? You want to come on stream? You want to be in the camera in 3D forever? Look, it's the kitty. Hold on. Wait, let's do it like this. Look at the kitty in 3D. You're in 3D forever. All right, I have to focus. Okay.
Like so. Then this noise connected to a math. I'm going to hide my background. It's a little bit distracting for me. Let's do insert a feedback.
Feedback time. What we got going on here?
From this feedback, we then want to shoot off.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's because of this. Right? Why is it showing me whole room? It's not doing that on his.
Let's do insert a feedback. From this feedback, we then want to shoot off to a noise.
Eh? What the fuck? Oh, is it because he did this? No. What the hell? That's gonna cause problems later. Wait a minute, this isn't even reading me live. Something happened. Oh goodness. Wait a minute, I need to save this just in case it crashes. Okay, but it is frozen for some reason. We must investigate. Okay, it's the feedback for some reason. What the hell?
Like so. Then this noise connected to a math. From this feedback, we then want to shoot off to a noise.
Nosy. That's not it.
Like so. Then this noise connected to a math. Like so.
Oh, my typing is just off. It's so off right now. It ain't buttery smooth like I want it to be, you know what I'm saying?
I think I'm using a add, yeah. An add, like so, and then plug this feedback into the second input. Like so, like so. Let's make sure on this feedback we're also plugging both of these into our noise, that way we use the...
Ah, so the feedback actually works. I see, I see, I see, I see. This goes into the, wait a minute, math, noise math add. Oh yeah, this goes into here, not into there. And the add goes to this here. Oh, but this not work. This not work properly at all. What is happening?
The background, but also the noise coordinate map. Then we want to do an over with, I think I'm grabbing, the start. So I forgot to do a null at the start, but that's all right. We can just use our math. So we want to do an over, where we just want to overlay all the feedback as well as the math. So let's do the math on top and then the feedback on the bottom, which is going to give us that, we can see here how the feedback stays in place, where everything else doesn't. And then going to give us that, we can see here how the feedback, where we just want to overlay all the feedback as well as the math. So let's do null at the start, but that's all right. We can just use our math. So we want to do an over, where we just want to overlay all the feedback as well.
So we've got the no. Wait a minute. Oh, I've got this wrong. That's why this isn't working properly. I've got 2 going into the noise. The feedback hits the add, not the noise. Goes into the add. The add comes down into the top of the over. Or does he swap this?
The math. So let's do the math on top and then the feedback on the bottom.
Yeah, that's correct. Got it like that.
I guess that we can see here how the feedback stays in place.
No, that's not. That is not correct. This is not working properly.
I think I'm grabbing.
I have done this incorrectly somehow.
We can just use our math. So we want to do an over, where we just want to overlay all the feedback as well as the math. So let's do the math on top and then the feedback on the bottom, which is going to give us that. We can see here how the feedback.
Oh wait, it is working.
Stays in place. Where everything else doesn't. And then we also want to do a null here. I've named it feedback end, but you don't need to.
So we've got another null going into the null. Is that what we're doing? We're doubling up nulls, putting them next to each other. We better be putting something inside that.
Do that, but we just want to drag this onto our feedback operator like so, which is us being like.
Okay, alright. Alright, I'm getting crazy with it. Okay. Oh shit. Oh.
Okay, this is where the feedback loop ends. Please append everything. And I think that is
The feedback in here.
all. Now we just need to set the noise and the math. So I'm going to copy these values down here like so.
Noise in the math.
Let's start with the math. I think that's a little bit easier to explain. Essentially, I've set the multiply to 0.001, which is essentially asking like, hey, yes, add in noise to this image, but make it very, very slight, which you can see with the original how it was. If I show it in the background, there's a slight amount of noise that like twists off and goes off into the direction. That's just us being like very slight. If we were to remove this math, we're fucked, you know? Like we need a very, very slight amount of it. There we go, turn that off. So that's why we have that math. And then as for the noise, the important parts is that you set the output to input plus noise. I think that is the default. You then want to have transform the same, I think common the same. And then really, well, I changed the type to Perlin 3D. And then of course you want to turn monochrome off. Because we want to have three-dimensional noise. But like this part's kind of just up to you. If I now start rendering the base image, and it's a little bit weird, I think my recommendation would be like, okay, here's the original noise parameters I'm using. So let's copy them. Pause the video if you want to copy it exactly and plug it in.
kind of like the original. No, I guess I like some of that. I like some of that. I like that. I do. Maybe not so much of that. Maybe split the difference.
Like so.
Was that exactly the same?
Parameters I'm using. So let's copy them. Pause the video if you want to copy it exactly. And plug it in like so. I'm also going to grab a keyboard in chop here, and then on the feedback I'm going to set it to pulse like that. Just so the feedback gets a little bit out of control, I can just reset it by pressing 1 like that. So now that I've reset the feedback and plugged in this noise, you can see we pretty much have the exact effects that we had in the...
Maybe I'm too close? It's kind of there, but it looks a little too close. Oh, wrong direction. Okay, here we go. Why am I getting so cut off? It's like, it's not, this isn't, something about this feedback is not working properly. Like, for it to get cut off right here does not make sense. Is it because of the distance? Why is it cutting it off so tight? Huh? What the hell? This is whack. It's like only in my body sphere, and then as soon as I get outside of it, it loses it. This right here is not enough. It's not even close.
In the tutorial, obviously, with a few other differences. Now, there's a few things you might want to consider adding, like a level, if we do a level like here, and then set the post opacity. If we drag it down slightly, it'll have the feedback trailing off like that. Maybe you want to...
That's kind of cool.
Tutorial, obviously, with a few other differences.
I gotta rewatch this tutorial, I think.
In this noise, just so the feedback gets a little bit out of control, I can just reset it by pressing 1. Like that.
Oh.
And then on the feedback, I'm going to...
It's happening to him right there.
Set it to pulse like that. Just so the feedback gets a little bit out of control, I can just reset it by pressing 1 like that.
Oh. It was literally the next step. Yeah, I'd be silly sometimes, you know? Just pay attention. Sometimes all you gotta do is just pay attention, and it's much simpler than you think it's gonna be. Sometimes I like to make it hard on myself.
Exactly, and plug it in like so. I'm also going to grab a keyboard in chop here, and then on the feedback I'm going to set it to pulse like that.
Aha! Look at that. Whoa! That's cool! Hey you. Hey you. I still gotta figure out the distance thing, why it cuts off when it gets too close. But the fact that it does that, it's reading me all the way back here. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, this is fun stuff right here. The feedback's getting a little bit out of control. You just hit it. Wow. Hello. Hello. Guys, I love Touch Designer so much.
Like that. Just so the feedback gets a little bit out of control, I can just reset it by pressing 1 like that. So now that I've reset the feedback and plugged in this noise, you can see we pretty much have the exact effect. that we had in the tutorial, obviously a few other differences. Now there's a few things you might want to consider adding, like a level, to, if we do a level like here, and then set the Now there's a few things you might want to consider adding, like a level, to, if we do a level like here, and then a few other differences. Now there's a few things you might want to consider adding, like a level, to, if we do a level like here, and then set the
Okay, this was an accident. I didn't mean to put that in there, but you know, sometimes you get happy accidents, and that is very interesting. What is it doing? Hold on a second now. That's cool. Whoa, yo! Whoa. Very cool. Whoa! Guys, Touch of Center is so cool. You know, think about this. Wait until I actually put sound to this, and it's actually moving to the beat. Oh, yo. Yo. Oh, wait a minute. I got it turned off. What happens when I do this? I like these lines it's creating. It's like creating a center point off of the line. It's pretty cool. You know, I could play with this all day. Just this one effect, I could play with it all day. Oh, that's dirty. So dirty, but quite clean. In fact, it's the cleanest thing I've ever done with the Connect, I think. And... ooh, sexy. It's like... look at... I mean, it's literally built for sound waves. Like, that's literally, like, you could do spectral resonance, you could do spectrum on the edge of the skin. It's built for sound waves, and it's literally a color spectrum. Oh my god. Okay. What was he trying to tell me to do? Wasn't he doing something earlier that I just skipped over completely? There was like this like center point thing he did, or was that right before what I was about to go do?
Have Berlin. So chop. Now there's a few things you might want to consider. Down slightly, remove that. It'll have the feature to, if we do a level like here, and then set the post opacity.
Okay, so I think that's exactly where we were. Instead of level, I actually accidentally did lens distort, which. Wait a minute, I kind of want to do a wait, what do I want to do here? Do I want to do a composite or a switch? I mean, maybe we just start with putting it in there and seeing what happens. He swaps it out for something. Oh, it's this one right here. Okay, so it's the same. Right? It's the exact same because I haven't done anything with the level yet.
If we drag it down, feedback, and plug in this noise, you can see we pretty much have the exact effects that we had in the tutorial, obviously with a few other differences. Now there's a few things you might want to consider adding, like a level, if we do a level like here, and then set the post opacity. If we drag it down slightly, it'll have the feedback trailing off like that.
Cool, let's try that. Post, drag down the opacity. Oh, that's cool. Just a little bit. Well, that is very, very cool. Must tell you, very cool. Okay, so with the level, we get that center point. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Maybe you want to have the brightness down, anything like that. I'm going to keep it as is. Let's remove that level. But yes, back to the noise. So essentially, the reason why I'm not explaining the specific numbers is because you can obviously copy it. But I think it's important that you play around here and sort of look to create a look you like yourself. For example, the period, which is basically the size of the noise. If we drag that right down, you see you get a lot more jittery, but also a lot more like the noise holds to original trajectory and it just jiggles slightly, like so. Whereas if I change the period to like 5, you get these massive groupings and massive swelling waves, which is quite nice.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having fun. I just want to let you know it's happening. The fun is being had in this room right now. Look at that depth. What? Oh my goodness gracious. Can I add a second camera in here and turn it? I don't think I can. Don't think it works like that, but it would be fucking dope if I could. Trying to think of how I could recreate this. Hold on a second now. Wait a minute, that's the opposite of what I want to do. I'll add it in here. Wait, that's also the opposite of what I want to do. Wait a second. Can I actually twist this? Can I actually translate this just slightly. Pivoting does not work. Yeah, so I can only translate 2D essentially. I can't get this slate, but I only need to do the XY, I'm pretty sure. It should still work. It should still work. I gotta test something, but I can't explain it yet.
Same with Harmonic Gain, we turn that up. It's locking into all these places. Like
Wait, what was that?
It's also a lot more like the noise holds its original trajectory and it just jiggles slightly, like so. Whereas if I change the period to like 5, you get these massive groupings and massive swelling waves, which is quite nice. Same with Harmonic Gain, we turn it up. It's locking into all these.
Ooh. Very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool. I do like that. Wait, what happens when I... What happens when I do one of these bad boys? Hello. It's cool to just hit it and turn it back off. Like you hit it, give it one of these, and you just hit it real quick, and then you bring it back. Like this could be a button turning it off and on. This right here is what's dope right here. Sending it in, sending it out. Boom. Dude. Wait, I deleted something. What I do? No. What did I do? Oopsies. Okay, so wait, I know what I need to do. So 0, 2, boom. So this wait, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. It's not doing what it was before. Why isn't it showing it like it was before? That's the problem I'm seeing here. There was a really cool effect that the noise, the harmonic gain going to 0 was doing. It's not doing it at all. Why is that? Why isn't it showing this? Oh, it's because it got disconnected. How did that happen? Oh, because it got deleted. LOL. Okay, let's do this again. 0. Wait a minute. No. 0, 0, 2, do. So that when I hit this twice, I can test this feature. Shoot it forward. I gotta make a note here.
these places. Like it's just like wildly differently cool effects you can create just by tweaking some of these parameters. So I don't want you to just copy exactly what I have. You're more than welcome to, if that's the design look that you like. But just by like tweaking these numbers, playing off these sliders, going beyond the bounds. What if I want to make this exponent 10? Like I've just fucking destroyed myself. Like it's just a very good way to start to piece this all together, figure out what you like, what you don't like. Maybe you hated that, so you want to do the opposite and keep it like so. And yeah, I just totally recommend playing around with the noise in that way. But that's pretty much the entire tutorial. Yeah, I'm going to keep the original file, this one here, available for download on my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave feedback. I'm pretty much just going to go at the pace and recommendation of what people like. If you would prefer, say, like this look, but like with 10 more stylistic elements, and then for me to skip over the explanations in favor of just getting something cool out, let me know. Or if you like this breakdown, slow, workshopy kind of style, then yeah, let me know. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe is appreciated, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Well, that was a success.
Cool. So, just a more beginner tutorial. Programmatic behavior, for example, or rename, which I can do very quickly. That's not too hard. So we're going to rename all to txt. So these files, then the project file, painting on the wall using someone's hand and stuff like that, or doing simulation and you want it to be controlled by sound. It'd be very easy to create one of these audio devices here and then say, hey, once it's above a certain threshold, set the wind to do something like that. And you can see when I speak above a certain threshold, it displaces it. Now, we're not going to be going too in depth into the simple side of mapping out those controls in Touch Designer. That's probably more for a more simple tutorial in this vein. But I hope that sort of gives you an idea of some of the possibilities of what you can do in Touch Designer with interactive art. Now, this might have seemed like a little bit of a weird video, because it obviously is. So I just want to take a moment to sort of discuss the sort of interactive works that I want to look to create going forward. Because I first wanted to go over, what is the possibilities? What can we do? Interactive art works such a wide network of things. And maybe there's people that want to just see the possibilities of kinds of interactive art, which is why I was like, okay, let me do this video first, and then potentially interact with my existing audience and a new audience to see if there's a particular kind of artwork that people are interested in making. Now, I see like one of the most popular ones, for example, is like, hey, we have this cool animation on the street, and when people walk past it, we want it to displace. And it's something like this, which is, if we want to build an artwork or a whole piece centered around that, then let me know in the comments, basically. I'm saying, message me, send me a request, let me know. I know a lot of people have done like 3D connect point clouds, which is not too difficult of a task to do as well. Maybe a bit oversaturated, but it is what it is. Or if you want to do more simple...
Wait, what did you say?
Like 3D connect point clouds, which is not too difficult of a task to do as well. Maybe a bit oversaturated, but it is what it is. Or if you want to do more simple things like painting on the wall using someone's hand and stuff like that, or doing more programmatic features. For example, one thing I didn't talk about is with this connect information, for example, it obviously has, let's go to our existing connect, it has z-index, which is its position in 3D space, like forward and backwards, essentially. And with that information, we can be like, okay, hey, once someone is close enough, then pick up on their hand and follow it. Or like once they're touching the wall, and we can have the connect on the side and then mapping out, and then we can talk about, hey, when we get to a certain threshold, do this sort of thing. It's essentially up to you guys to let me know what kind of specific interactive artworks you'd want to know and try, but I wanted to at least talk about the different kinds that we could explore, and then offer this project file to my Patreon subscribers to start playing around with and doing cool things. But sorry, that was a bit low energy in this video. I will hopefully get another tutorial out very soon. And I'm also definitely going to, I want to do more interactive works on my own. I have a few different ones already where I work with dancers a lot. So if dance is something you're really into, again, let me know. I think I might just take a gamble and create an interactive video specified on a specific thing like a Connect, but otherwise, yeah, let me know if you have any requests. And thanks so much for watching. See ya. Hey there, welcome back to another Touch Designer tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at deconstructing objects and point clouds in Touch Designer. And in this particular tutorial...
Alright, well, we are an hour and a half into this stream, and I feel pretty good about this tutorial. What a fantastic tutorial it was. By the end it did work, just as I was desiring it to. We found a couple of happy accidents. The base is here. There's a lot of freaking that I want to do. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I want to do, actually. I would like to make some music and
welcome back.
Pull some sound in here to actually freak the particle system. Someone commented in this video explaining something that would optimize it. The next one's about the particle stops. You can use a convert node instead of the particles one and set it to convert to particles per point. It's way less resource intensive, but I tried it and the result is the same. 100% you can, but for a system like this where I have a lot of fluid motion, I prefer to initialize with the particle stop. It has a far more control over the motion and result of particles. Let's actually test that really quick. Particles, where is it? Convert, and then convert to particles per point, and then pull that in here, and then shoot that in here. It does look exactly the same, actually. It looks exactly the same. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. What the heck is this? Image to point cloud in Touch Designer. What? Is he speaking in Chinese?
움직이는
Or Korean, I mean?
개수와 결정해주는 부분, 이미지의 색깔을 정해주는 부분, 물체가 위아래로 올라갔다 내려갔다 하는 부분, 그리고 물체의 모양을 정해주는 전부 300을 넣고요. 하느라 너무 고생 많으셨고요.
Oh shit.
해주는 부분, 갔다 내려갔다 하는 부분.
Wait, this is cool. This is really cool.
전부 300을 넣어주겠습니다.
It's just taking flat images
그림이 나오게 추가해줄게요.
and turning them into 3D.
무슨 노이는 지난지를 알 수 노이 거예요. 샵을 하겠습니다. 셀렉트를 그 다음에 조절해주겠습니다. 무게가 있기 때문에 한 번에 더 멀지라는 샵을 만들겠습니다. 멀지는 합쳐주는 겁니다. 어떤 여기 셀렉트에서 되게
Whoa. Whoa, dude.
잘 이렇게 되게 뭔가 이렇게 잘 올라오는 모습.
The cool thing would be able to do that you'd want to be able to do is like if this was an interactive installation, you'd want to be able to input the picture live, like take a picture or send a picture to a thing. Like say you scan a QR code, and then it allows you to upload a picture, and the picture appears on the screen in this system. Like, what is he using to get the picture in there? Is it just the very beginning of this? Is he just dropping the file in there directly? I think he is. Like, if there was something that could just receive the picture. Let's just look this up. Okay, we just found 2 ways to do this. Dope. Yeah, so you essentially, I'd have to do a little bit of Python and just folder recognition. There's a data file in Touch Designer called it's folder dat, and you just observe what jumps in the folder, and you can set it up in a way that allows you to monitor what's being sent in, so that no one's just like sending in random shit that's that might be violent or nudity or something. Image stack. Oh my god, tutorial. Image stacking. Let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah, I also have another idea of how I could do that, but that would be cool. Wait, what is happening? Stop. Wait, did I click out of this video? What happened to the... There it is. Okay, yeah, successful. What the hell?
In a tutorial, and in this one we're going to look at image stacking, or how you can import any kinds of and any number of images and use some basic DATs and like Python and some feedback and stuff like that to stack them onto each other, as you can see here. So we're like randomizing their position, and yeah, it's sort of like an endless loop, so we can just, it just keeps on going. And yeah, I'm gonna explain you as usual, like how this is all done, and I'm gonna also show you 2 different approaches for this. Like, one is just
All right. I got some ideas. I went deep into thoughts. I'm not going to lie. I forgot I was on stream for a moment. I went so deep into thought. Yeah, I got some ideas. I need to write some stuff down, and this was successful. Glad we did this. I'm going to prep some things I'm going to jump back on later today, and we'll keep this going. Much love. Much love. Drop in the chat what you worked on. Again, this is a creative space for us to navigate outside of this addictive internet casino. It's literally like infinite, deep distraction. Creating is the purest transmutation of consumption. Consumption equals death. Overconsumption equals death. Creation equals life. More life, more creation. Much love. See you soon.